where we will shut down all 9 M1D engines on board the first stage, followed quickly thereafter by stage separation, when the first and second stages of Falcon 9 separate from one another, and then we'll turn on the MVAC engine for the first time.
Confirmed.
Thank you for inviting me. Oh, that's some good footage here, dude.
MVAC ignition. Stage 1 boost back startup.
Crap. That's dope as hell.
So we have great views on your
That's the
screen
one
right
burning.
now,
That's the
and confirmation from Mission Control that we've had MECO, Stage SEP, and SES-1. We also heard the call out, and on the left-hand side of your screen, we have great views of our boost back burn, which is what's currently putting the booster on a trajectory to head back toward Earth and touch down at landing zone 1. Next up, the fairing will jettison away from the second stage, as it's no longer needed now that we're in space, and the payloads no longer need that aerothermal protection.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Right on schedule. Those fairing halves are now headed back to Earth to be recovered by our ocean recovery ship, Bob.
Wow. See the fairings coming off?
Yeah.
Right under the rocket, the fairings are coming off.
Yeah.
Stage 1
Oh man,
boost
look at
back
the
shutdown.
booster. Man, it's similar.
And there's confirmation of our Stage 1
You see the
boost back
booster
burn
and the
shutdown.
fairings.
Now, at just about T plus 3.5 minutes into today's mission, the next major milestone we're standing by for is our first stage
Man,
entry
that's
burn.
insane.
Getting some great
So you can
views
see
on
the
the left-hand
booster,
side
the
of your
fairings, and
screen
the
of that
rocket.
grid fin
I
deployment
believe
right now,
that's
too.
the booster.
Yeah.
To the right there.
Those hypersonic grid fins are the primary mechanical mechanism by which we steer the
I'm gonna
rocket
go ahead
on
and
its way
zoom
back
up
to
on the
Earth.
rocket.
Nominal trajectories.
Nominal trajectories there for both our first and second stages. Again, in case you are just joining us, right now our first stage is on its way back to landing zone 1 at Kennedy Space Center, while stage 2 is on its way to orbit to deploy 2 WorldView Legion satellites for our customer Maxar intelligence. To start the entry burn at about T plus 6 minutes, we'll relight the 3 of the M1D engines on board stage 1, starting with the center engine, known as E9, followed shortly after by E1 and E5, which is similar to pumping the brakes to slow down the vehicle as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. We need to slow down to reduce re-entry forces, which then helps us to recover and reuse that first stage. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing those Merlin engines, but we're still moving really fast. This causes the vehicle to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases. Great views of it on your screen there right now. Those exhaust gases are also known as the rocket's plume. That in turn deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle surface. The soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little more on the outside of the vehicle, giving it that flight-proven look. We are standing by with these incredible tracking shots for that entry burn begin at T plus 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Of course, reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical scientific research. The Falcon 9 first stage supporting today's mission is about to perform this entry burn for the 4th time. And of course, meanwhile, up in space, our stage 2 continues to look good, and we'll keep bringing you those MVAC engine views as we have them.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There's confirmation of entry burn begin.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And
Stage 1
confirmation
FTS is safe.
of entry burn shutdown. The engines on board the first and second stage are actually pretty similar. They're just optimized differently. The Merlins on the first stage are optimized for sea level, and these achieve 190,000 pounds of thrust each during both ascent and descent. At liftoff, Falcon 9's first stage has thrust greater than 5 747 airplanes at full power. The MVAC engine, which we
Nominal
have
trajectories.
a great view of on the right-hand side of your screen, and confirmation there that everything's on a nominal trajectory, has a much wider
Stage
nozzle.
1 transonic.
That wider nozzle allows us to be optimized to
Yeah, it's just about this fear.
220,500 pounds
Yep.
of thrust in the vacuum of
Dang.
space.
And away it goes.
Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing burn.
Heck yeah.
That's the coolest shit I've seen since the space shuttle.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Man, that was pretty good.